well, it's two different people instead of one like you guys did. And it's comparing like material items that each of them have, so maybe like clothing, and we see this on page 57 where he compares the white student to an Indian student himself. And so in your groups, we're going to just really quickly discuss, so like think back to high school or also college, there's lots of stereotypes. So on the next slide, I give an example. So there's a football player and then a nerd. We can compare those two and say, oh, the nerd might be wearing glasses, even though that's kind of an unrealistic stereotype. Football players, popular, and they might be wearing a uniform to school, or just stuff like that where we see the material items on the outside of people that kind of define their clique or stereotype. And so I want you guys to think about different competing stereotypes that you can think of that, and you can use these too in different contexts, or like football, cheerleader, stuff like that. And then we'll share as a class. And what do you see on the outside of
Okay, so let's think about like what type of material items would go along with those big
Black clothes.
Like hair, maybe.
Chain piercing.
Tattoos.
Yeah, intimidating.
Okay, yeah. How about? Yeah.
Wow, you're like saying really surface level.
from our experience?
Yeah, and then like on the opposite side of that,
Black clothes.
What do cheerleaders do? Where?
Like short skirts. Like
Oh.
Yeah, so compared to Claire just had a great
we were talking about how that was like a weird like stereotype when it comes to like some barrier between them and society, where it's just really themselves like by not wearing a lot of layers, you kind of feel like be social, like talked about and attracted to one area.
That's a really good connection.
have long hair that like covers parts of their face, whereas like cheerleaders like pigtails and like face and makeup.
Put together.
Yeah, there's like
Just like a little more
yeah.
but really it's the same amount
Okay guys, now that it has quieted down a little bit, we're going to use kind of what we discussed about in our group, which is about different stereotypes, to reflect that and put that on ourselves. And so let's go to the next slide. We will be making our own like split body biography, and so I'm going to share mine here. So we're going to think about like how you think the world perceives you compared to how you perceive yourself. And so this is mine, and it's not very colorful or anything, but let's say I started at the bottom, so this is kind of how I think the world or people might see me, and so I have a plus sign for like very positive, and inside I write like you'll do great, and so like I'm very positive, more about like other people, and so like I like to give advice to others, saying like uplifting advice, you know, but for myself, I do a negative because I'm very hard on myself and I don't apply the positive aspects of people to myself. And so I wrote, "You're going to fail this." It isn't very nice, but that's what I wrote. And then I have like 2 different outfits on. So one's kind of nice, and this is supposed to be like sweatpants and sweatshirt. And so on the nice side, I think that people maybe might assume that because I like have like nicer things sometimes, or like I dress a certain way, that I might like be more well off than others. But in reality, like that's not true at all. Like the clothes that I wear, whatever, like have been like given to me, or I'm working 2 jobs and like I support myself. My family doesn't have anything to do with that. And then I have on this side, blah blah blah, because I feel like my jobs and like my major forced me to talk more than I would like, and in reality I would rather like stay quiet and just think to myself more than like being an extrovert. So this is my split body biography, and so we're going to pass out papers so you guys can make your own, and so we'll probably take about like 3 minutes for you guys to make this, something real quick, and then you guys will be sharing in your group, so you can make. Are there any questions? Do you all understand?